remember. My grandchildren, they remember every moment. They remember every year. They remember the year where we went to. And even during COVID, managed to save up a bit, and we went on the Captain Cook cruise with the help of my FNPF money. And it was beautiful. So they've always talked about the Captain Cook cruises until then. Whenever they see the ad comes on, they said, oh, we've been there. Oh, that was really beautiful on that island. Like the legacy that you create with your family, that when you pass on, they will always remember the moments you spend with them. They will not talk about the food on the table. They will not talk about the roof above their heads. But they will talk about the little things that you do together, and they have your undivided attention on them. Well, back to the hotel. Are we still waiting for the person to come in?
Yeah,
I think we're still waiting.
Okay. Arranging for somebody to come.
Well, as and when that person come in, and then we'll just get them to come and give their spiel. But I'll give this time to Gasebo, whatever that he wants to say about the hotel. But it's really beautiful. You need to try it out. It's beautiful out here.
I love the hotel, the swimming pool. You got quite different swimming pool for adults, even for children. And it's big swimming pool. And still, they are building more swimming pool. And I believe the head chef yesterday was talking about it. Other part of development, they have a swimming pool just next to your bedroom.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that? And I believe a lot of people that come from overseas, they love the swimming pool. Sometimes the sea and the beach is just on the edge of this hotel. We are only about 400 meters from Newtown. And on our left is Wailoaloha. And the beautiful sunset normally comes out when you are outside this hotel. So for those of you that are in Suva looking for accommodation around Inadi, when you're in this hotel, you think that you are in Denarau. The setup in this hotel, the room, just the upgrade from the last time. Before COVID, when we normally come here. It's totally different. So we are promoting this hotel this morning because we are just sharing from a beautiful restaurant, and our grandchildren and our children are having breakfast at the moment. So whether you are having your breakfast or preparing for your breakfast, we are trying to share with you this wonderful morning.
And the attraction is the rate that you pay for your room includes breakfast. So it's a free breakfast. Breakfast comes with the rate that you pay for your room. And it's really beautiful, I would say. It's not as, like looking at the place, you would think that the rooms are very, very expensive, but they are really not. And imagine, when you pay for that room, it includes your free breakfast. And the breakfast is buffet. Just like if you're in Suva, you walk into a Holiday Inn or GPH, the range of the breakfast on buffet, it's really beautiful. And it's free. That comes with your room. And even yesterday, we went out a bit with my grandchildren. I went with my son and his family. So we just went out, driving around. They took their scooters and their skateboard. And one thing about this place is the space. Like you can be having your breakfast, and these two, like they go to town, going up and down, because the space, it's really beautiful. And so yesterday, like just having the time to sit there while they skate and go around in their scooters. And when we came back, and then yet again, you see them all dressed up in their Fijian outfit and singing, just on the entrance, and waiting on you if you need any help for your stuff to be taken. And I was really surprised. I saw one of our youth back in Suva, Tukana, singing away with her stomach and all his Fijian outfit. Really looking out there, and I said, okay, right. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, like it's personalized. And even when they come to the room for everything that you need, they will always come in and address you by your name. Like they personalize it. They know your name. And I think enough talking about the hotel here. So we'll have somebody to come and speak as and when that person comes in and give more spiel to this, like what he said. The extension is still going. You can still see a lot of steel structures going up. But for the hotel chain of rooms, extra rooms onto my right, according to them, that lane or that row of hotel will have swimming pool right next to it, which means you come up from your door, you dive into your pool. Oh, how beautiful is that? I'm not a pool person. I've gone past my days of swimming in the pool. But for those of you who love swimming pool and especially at this time, it's so hot. Like even when there is no sunshine, you feel so, like you still sweat because of the humid.
Well, that's one thing that we need to talk about today. the weather changing
Yeah.
that we are facing right now, not only in Fiji, right across the globe.
Yeah.
The weather pattern is really changed. Very, very significant.
Yeah.
That people are noticing the high temperature
Floods.
and the flood and the humidity is very high. Normally when you wake up in the morning, you'll see clear sky. That means only few vapor going up to the air to form the cloud. But yesterday we flew from Nosori. We flew into thick cloud until we come on the western side. That means the global warming is something that is real in every aspect. Not only the rising of the sea level, but yesterday I was in the ground, in Prince Charles Park. No, it was breezy and beautiful trees around the ground, and even then you feel the sweat just coming out.
The humidity.
Yeah, you are just sitting there watching the game, and yet the sweat is coming out.
It's like you're playing.
Yeah, that means that the weather really changed.
Yeah.
So for us, for our take, we need to understand what is happening around us.
Yeah.
That means a lot of intake to avoid dehydration. And when we are dehydrated,
We have headaches.
Headache and flu, so sickness can easily settle on us because not enough water. Some of the tips to keep you away from sick. And when you're away from sick, that means you're away from the doctor. When you're away from the doctor, that means
You're saving your money.
saving your money, because nowadays the medical charges and the medicine are skyrocketing. So it's just a way to look after our life, just understanding the weather pattern. I was talking to one doctor. When it's raining and you want to have a rain bath, don't go in the first few raindrops. When the rain starts to fall, don't have a rain bath as soon as the rain comes. Because that's where a lot of acid in the sky comes with the raindrops.
Okay.
So you leave it about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, then you go for your rain bath.
Depending on the length of the rain.
Yes.
Sometimes it just rained a little bit, then you can go out.
He was just talking that you avoid the rain and you go out and have your rain bath because of the acid. That's where, for us, if I stand out in the open and preach and drizzle or the rain, after that preaching, I'll come and just go shower or just we go to Rukurupe to take away that raindrops on my head because of the acid that will come with the rain. So all of this, he was talking on the medical aspect of the rain. So these are the tips that we must understand the weather and what is happening around us for us to keep in line with what is going on in the world today. Yeah.
Well, hydrate well and rest well. Like for me, I'm really trying to rest. I've got this problem that I'm still trying to fix. For 2024, there is. I always find trouble in going to sleep. There's a lot of things that goes on in my mind that I cannot sleep. And even when I try to sleep, I'm beginning to think, okay, what if I've done that, okay, that is still pending. So I can't stop my mind from thinking. And what I try and do is to watch the news or watch something to stop my thinking and go with the flow with what I'm watching. And even through that process, I'm still struggling. And I haven't, like, to be honest, for 2024, there's never a time that I went to sleep at about 9 or 10. I've been going to sleep at about 12, the earliest, and 2 o'clock in the morning, the latest. And up again, without your body, because my body is so, like it's trained. By 4 o'clock, I'm awake. Either I wake him up to go for prayers. And if I go to sleep at 3 o'clock, then I sleep. I don't wake him up, or he wakes me up. And like in the record, what I'm trying to say, I'm struggling with my sleeping. So one of the things that I wanted to come and do for this weekend, I just want to come and sleep. I want to come and, close myself in and say that I'll stop my mind thinking and I just need to rest. Why I'm sharing this? Sometimes you get so carried away with the work that we do that we fail to acknowledge that we have a body and that body needs rest, and that body needs water to hydrate. That body also needs something. Sometimes you're so busy for other people, busy organizing things, using your body, your mind, your brain, and everything about you, but you forget about yourself. I've been doing that for how many years of my life? But this year, I'm trying to come to that, decision to say, everything else is going well. As you organize, bills are paid, things are running well, but I'm not doing justice to my body and to my life, which I'm trying very much for 2024 to change. And I'm trying to slot some time as a break for me to have. And other than just going places and doing things for others and for the organization that I'm part of. And I must thank Stanley. So last week I emailed him and I said, okay, I would like to ask for your approval. At least for one day in a week, I can remotely work from home, meaning that I want to be a normal person. I want to be a normal mbumbu and a normal nana. For my children to come back from school, they can see me. And for me to be a normal person at home. So I'm still working, but I can control that. At least one day in a week, I can do that from home. Or I can do that from anywhere. Like yesterday was my one day. I took that one day out from work. Whatever that needs to be done, I can still work on it on my email and Viber or things that needs to be done. And it has worked well. So at least I've achieved something. And I want to thank the company director for giving that approval. And I'm grabbing every moment that I can to be normal and also to do justice to myself, that I can rest and embrace that moment and also have more time with my family or with my children. Yeah, on that note, we'll go straight in, like what we said, as and when they come, and then we'll have them to come online.
I think they already said we already promoted.
Oh, yeah, okay, so...
So, a lot of people, they don't want to stand in front of the television.
They don't like the camera like this. Well, that's it. Crown Plaza is the place to visit. Crown Plaza is the place to go. And you have personalized service everywhere you go. You check in, personalized. Even at the security, when you drive through, they come out, Bula, they address you by name. And also when you enter from the reception to the dining room, you even have the hostess take you right to to your table, get those coffee or your selection of beverage. And the range that we have out here, which I know as well, that you don't need to be staying in the hotel to access that breakfast. Even as an outsider, if you have nothing doing on a Saturday or Saturday morning or Sunday mornings, and you have some extra cash on you, you can pop in, bring your family, and come and have a nice range of a buffet breakfast, which you pay here as well. Yeah. I think yesterday we paid for our breakfast because we haven't checked in yet, and that was like $30. And that $30, it comes with everything. Yeah. And not like a normal buffet only for breakfast, like sausage, egg. Yesterday. Yeah, that's what I want to say. They had curry, lamb chops, they have vegetarian curry, eggplant curry. They have a selection of curries, and they even have papadum and prawn crackers. They have rotis, they have, what else did they have there? What's the thing that we always buy? A naan, they have the naan. And then apart from that, then they have the European offering, like in their cheese selection. They have their fruits, and they even have ice cream and stuff. It's beautiful. And it's worth the money that you can pay. Or if you're treating somebody to their birthday, bring them here. Only $30, you give them the world. They love the range that they have here. Well, that's marketing for Crown Plaza. So note it down. The only Crown Plaza ever in Fiji. It's right here. And they've just opened. Launch open, so it's no longer Pullman. Even Pullman is a range of hotel, as in when you come to Australia and New Zealand, Pullman really stands out. It's the same. And like for their Pullman in Australia and New Zealand, it's mostly with the amenities, like it's a self-contained units in their room. So it's no longer within the Pullman chain. Now it's under the IHG, and they call Crown Plaza. So it's a must visit, place to visit. You have to go. And if you can't make it for the next few months, try and write it down. For this year, you must pop into this place because it's beautiful. Well, on that note, we were talking at length for 2 Saturdays now on the families. And one thing I was reading last night, I was checking on something last night, checking on some flights last night, and I came through this news on the digital news. I think it was FBC. And it spoke of a 25-year-old stepfather the caption was, the stepfather abuses daughter, abuses daughter. And as I read that column, which never failed to, to support the fact of what we are trying to share. And I think it's always, like we always say, okay, stepmother, we could, but the stepfathers as well. When I read through that, that story, this is a family, and I know if people have read it as well, if you access to that. I didn't go searching for it, but it sort of like just came out last night, and I want to share it here. And in this particular incident, he's 25 years old, and I think that's very young, and married to this woman who's got a daughter. And this daughter is a daughter with special needs. So I don't really know what that special need is. But she refused to eat, like she refused to eat. And in that write-up, he slapped her and burned her legs with tobacco. I don't know how, yeah. He burned her legs with tobacco and sexually assaulted her. And this young girl is only 3 years old. Last night, as I read it, I don't know, I sat up, and what really got me was the age, and I was thinking, why, that's Lekela's daughter. That's my granddaughter's age. Like that conviction, that thought. I really sat up in bed. And, yeah, I was really, I don't know, I was really taken with that story when I read last night. That thought that I cannot, and because of how vulnerable that life is. And just thinking like yesterday, because they were running around, like playing with the scooters and their skateboard. And the mother was sitting there watching over them while I was with their father. But every now and then, you keep on looking out because it's quite crowded where we were at. Like that thinking, like Fiji is not the Fiji that we used to know before. And like I'm always looking out. I know the parents are there, but I'm always looking out for my grandchildren, especially the very young ones like that. I only trust myself to take them out. And I know their parents really look after them. But as and when I take them out, I take the whole lot of them out with my other 2 granddaughters from my daughter. And last night, when I read that story, it really made me sit up. And I just said a prayer. To imagine a little girl. I haven't met this girl, but reading the story, to imagine that little girl, same age as Lekela, bubbling and talking, and to go through that just because she refused to eat. And, got abused, slapped. And the tobacco, I don't know how that, and burn tobacco marks on her legs. And she was sexually assaulted. And she's a child with special needs. Like what I said, I don't really know what that means in terms of how bad it is. But it was noticed by one of the relatives later. And I would like to say thank you to that relative that noticed. Sometimes it's happening right there, and we don't know how bad things are. Wala we kada nito kaya kada ka sinyo nong totong business ngor sinyo do kaya nong business nong rato. Lebo nong kada sa mato weekend ya. Balata na nong day toba nong day vala menda lebo nong bula me baya ni ngon ave kina na langa ndo emoko se bola ka ni mate o kada na reito nga balata na nong da bakasama itu nga weekend senga di nong da business. But au bambota ko me bisau menda kawita ka balata na bula ya eroni marroi balata inda kawita kaya. So obi babinaka we koya bolitong snivelin na dana bolitong a relative noticed the burnt marks on her legs and the bruises on her body, the bruises from and he reported that to the social welfare. And I would like to thank the social welfare for making it happen. So according to that write-up, they managed to take the daughter away from the mother. And now that little girl is staying with a relative and no longer with the mother. And that goes back to us mothers. And I know, like, you want to have another shot in life. And you, like what I said last week, I mean, even last week I mentioned the challenges when you leave your children behind and having a stepmother to come and look after them who will be married to your husband. But last night when I read that, and I remember saying it last Saturday, make sure when you go, you take your child with you or take your children with you. But when I read that last night, and I said, man, Last week I shared and said, when you go, take your children with you. And here, yeah, here is this woman who took her child with her, and in the process being abused by the stepfather. So the stepmothers only are not abusing, the stepfathers as well. Well, I believe because it's not your own, if you're angry with anything, that is the child you're going to abuse. Whenever you are angry with each other, you will go for those children. And these other children, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of abused children out there. They don't hear good words. They hear swears. If anything to be done, to be sent to do, it's always these people. You will not send out your children. And up until the night, even if things needs to be done, these are the children who cop the flak. And I believe for the whole 100%, I think nearly 75% of children that comes through this kind of relationship, they go through the same abuse. Maybe not as extreme as that tobacco marks, burnt marks on her legs, but there is an element of abuse. It's like verbal abuse or being sworn at, or they don't hear good words. As soon as they wake up, they start hearing swearing for the people or the person that they are. And the sad part about it, like for these children, they never asked to come. They never even thought when they were born and happy with their parents, they never knew that one day their parents won't be together and they end up to where they are today. And that's why a lot of hurt, a lot of children have got a lot of hurt. And we talk about grounds and how, it's really making it happen in Fiji. Nearly every second person or every 1 in 10 people, they are onto drugs. And these are contributing factors as well. So when they go through abusive, home and all the things that they're going through, they look for something to give them that peace of mind. And they will, most of the time, they end up in the wrong place. Yeah. They using the wrong substance just to give them that.
It's so sad that some people that they are well educated, holding maybe good position, and yet they children to vet out story of that little child. Yeah. When you said 3-year-old, first thing that came to mind was Lekila's. Yeah. A child that is not normal, and yet facing the abuse from the stepfather with the burn from tobacco, and also some slap or maybe
sexually assaulted. Yeah. So he's on. He will be hearing in court on rape, on sexual assault, and that.
So it's a lesson for us that we are talking about bringing your baggage, your luggage to the new relationship. It's happening everywhere, and if we are not prepared, if we are not careful, we must be always on the watch all the time.
Yeah.
Because sexual abuse or rape is one of the highest criminal activities, not only in Fiji but around the world. So we need to be always be attentive to our little ones. When you have your little ones with you, or as a father, or as an uncle, as an auntie, or as a grandparents, always watch over and always try to see if any indication, maybe from their school, from their friends, or even from relatives, because it can happen. And it's happening maybe once a week. We'll see or come through some news on sexual abuse, or just a normal abuse, on assault. And last few days or last week, we went through that child abuse. And in so many areas, the abuse is continue to be exercised by the people that they think that they hold position in the society, or in the relatives, or maybe in our organization, or even in the government, or even in the church for that matter. So we must always be on watch all the time.
Yeah.
To wipe out and to minimize all this abuse that we are going through.
Yeah, I think it's a good awareness.
Just to have that awareness around us, and also the conviction thank you, and the conviction for, as just parents. We can get carried away with starting a new life, having a new life, but we fail to just to consider our children and successes that can change for them. The safety of your children, it's on you. And sometimes out of fear, because you love your new partner, and out of fear of being abused by your partner as well, you just can't take a back seat and watch that abuse to happen to you, but it's actually, done to your children. And I think, for me, that's no use for you to have that relationship, to live in fear and allow your partner to abuse your own children. I don't think that is proper.
I believe for those of you, especially for us men, that you are out there, whenever I hear this kind of news, father or stepfather abusing the children or abusing your wife, I really don't like you wherever you're watching from. I don't see any manly in you. I don't see any human character in you. For abusing your wife or abusing your children or abusing the children that they come through.
We can backtrack a bit to try and find out why do they abuse, why there is a lot of, because according to the papers as well, I think it was on Thursday, there is an increase on domestic abuse, an increase of wife beaters, increase in domestic abuse on wives. I believe we need to backtrack a bit. If you look from their end, because like what you said, you've never seen your parents. I've never seen my parents. Not even, hear them to swear at each other or fight. I've never, we've never. That's why, it's easy for us to say that now when we look, so how can you do that? And how can that happen? It's easy for us, it's easy for me to say that because I never lived, I was not brought up in an abusive atmosphere, at home, to witness my parents or to even live through it, to be able to understand what is happening. And it's good for us to talk about it because we can backtrack a bit, stand a bit back and try and understand how and why that happens. And why for me, looking at it, the contributing factors is a lot. It can be the substance you take, it can be drugs, it can just be dope with grog. And you have a few, you're drunkard. And you come out your patience is very small, short, you're not normal. Yeah. Whatever it is from a normal person you were, with all these things that you take, make you abnormal. So when you're abnormal, you come and you lash out at anything when it's not according to what you want, and you always abuse the weak. You can't go and do that to their brothers. You can't go and do that to any other man, but you'll do it to the weak because you know they won't punch back. You know that they won't do anything to you. You lashing out, venting out everything, the anger, the frustration you have, but at an innocent or weak person, they will not fight back. Yeah. And I believe that happens in a lot of relationships. It's either they're venting out their anger or they are having extramarital affairs. And if you're having extramarital affairs and you come home, nearly everything that they do, it's not right because you prefer whatever affairs that you're having and you're trying to find fault when you come home. So whatever fault you find, you don't just address it with love and talk about it, but you are abusive with your hands or swears and everything that is happening. So that's a lot of contributing factors that make people do the way that they do things.
There are a few things I want to share this morning, especially to those of us that are watching, especially for men. Number one is our background, where we come from. Because if we come from a background that we never see that our parents, especially our fathers, how they speak, how they talk to their wife or to our mothers. All those things, those are investment. Kembali o ta o kwe mula takikon to ni bakau o kwe ti bakati ko na no nambula Mendari the Tukaini. So it's our background. And number two, the environment that we in. Sometimes we copy what happens in other families or what other men do to their wife. And we try to copy if that man is doing to their wife, to the children. Oh, I can also do this to my children or to my wife. So the environment that you in, and including the words that you hear, the movie that you watch. Sometimes the movie today is very violent and becoming normal to slap, to swear another person. So the environment you in, not only your background, is also your environment. Number three, the substance. Ongune angona, se kongunu umburu, se koderuglu. Any substance that affect how well you think and understand, that substance can be the cause of our abusive attitude. Any small problem or anything that is not right, according to you, not according to the standard, just according to us. Ni siya nga ni sotabi ko nakakenda na numatiko sa totoo sarangan na lako nilinganda se